we are ready to proceed, ladies and gentlemen. This witness has been previously sworn to testify truthfully. Mr. Staten.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, we've seen you sitting here in court since this case started. Would you introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Maitlyn Gandy. I'm better known as the mother of Athena Strand.
And I'm going to show you something that's been admitted already in the evidence. Would you please?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson talked about this picture here, and I want to ask you, she mentioned that she had a little grin on his face. Do you have a better explanation about why she has a grin on her face?
I do. So this was taken about a month before she was murdered, and we were at a Mexican restaurant in our hometown, and I wanted to get a picture of her and her baby sister, my baby sister, all together, and she stole an orange from my drink, and she had it in her mouth to look like it. She looked like a little monkey, and I took the original picture, not noticing the orange in her mouth, and then of course, being the mom that I am, I said Athena Presley, and she immediately closed her lips around that orange so she could hide the orange and take the picture that I wanted.
That's the reason for the grin.
Yes, sir.
You said this picture was taken when?
About a month before she was killed.
Let me show you another picture that's been admitted into evidence. And I think we've seen this one. When was this picture taken?
That was taken on November 26th of 2022. It was a Saturday. It was about 1:30 p.m. And that was in the front seat of my Jeep.
And notice she's got a white shirt on here. What's the symbolism of this white shirt? What's she wearing?
It says, "We are family 2022," because we always had matching fall pajamas for Halloween and matching Christmas pajamas. It was a part of our holiday traditions.
And was it just her, or was there somebody else with her we know this?
No, you can see my baby, Rylan.
Is this right here?
Yes.
And how many days before she was murdered was this picture taken?
4 days.
4 days. And I'm noticing something on her head here. What's on her head?
That is her red bow for Christmas, because red was the theme for our family that year.
Ma'am, I notice you have something in your hand there. Show that to the jury.
This is her red bow.
Is that the same red bow that we see in that picture?
Yes, sir.
Do you leave home without that?
Not when I come to this state.
Okay. Maybe back home every once in a while?
Every once in a while. Quick trip to Walmart, maybe.
Something else about this picture. Was this one of the last times you saw Athena?
I had a little bit more than 24 hours left with her. I just didn't know it at the time.
And we heard from Ms. Thompson that Athena was living here for a little while. And I guess that little more time is the time it took you to get from where you were in Oklahoma to the meeting spot with Jacob. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And I say Jacob. Who's Jacob?
Jacob is Athena's daddy.
Okay. And where do y'all normally meet?
ASAP in Bowie, Texas.
Okay. Is that a convenience store?
It's a gas station of sorts. It's gotten better over the years.
Okay. Stop and rob, if you will.
Yes, sir.
And so y'all exchange on that day, right?
We exchanged Sunday, November 27th of 2022.
You remember the last thing you said to Athena?
I told her that I loved her and that I would see her on Friday. We had a quick drop off because her daddy was going to take them to the Christmas lights that night. So it's not the goodbye that I would have wanted.
So you and Jacob, when is Athena born with you and Jacob? What's her birthday?
She was born Saturday, May 23rd of 2015 at 9:01 p.m.
And let me ask you, from the time she was born until the last time you saw her, how would you describe her as a child?
She was the perfect mixture of me and Jacob. She loved to wear her pretty princess dresses, but at the same time, she would play in the dirt in those same pretty princess dresses. And she was free, and she was wild, and she was bright, and she was loving. She wanted to be loved and to give love, and that's it.
Now, as she got older, did she have some things that were kind of her favorites and the things that she liked to do?
That's a broad question to ask. Athena loved everything. She loved life. We liked to watch movies together. It was very common for us to have movie nights, popcorn and candy. It was very common for her to want to ride her horse with her Aunt Kate. It was very common for her to want to do anything outdoors with her father, so long as her father was around. She watched him butcher animals. She watched him clear property. As long as Daddy was around, she was great with being dirty and being outside.
So that people are clear, or you and Jacob, would you agree with me, y'all live a country life?
Very much so.
Okay. And when you say butchering animals, Jacob's a bit of a hunter, right?
Yes.
I just don't want people to think that we're out, on the other side of Fort Worth doing that in the front yard, okay?
No.
So let's talk a little bit about you and Jacob. You and Jacob were young when you had Athena.
Very
and how
much
old
so.
were you?
I was 19 when I had Athena.
And Jacob was a little older than you?
Jacob was 23. He had just turned 23.
And we may have heard this. We heard from Ashley, Jacob's wife at the time. You and Jacob didn't stay together.
No, we didn't.
Permanently. But let me ask you, how do you feel you and Jacob were as parents for Athena?
There were rough moments, but we always had an agreement that those rough moments didn't need to enter into our children's lives. We co-parented, in my opinion, pretty dang well. Because as long as Athena's needs were met and she was happy, that was important to him and I.
Any doubts at all that you or Jacob or your family in Oklahoma or his family here in Texas absolutely loved Athena?
There is no doubt whatsoever that every single person that has ever met Athena, besides maybe one, absolutely loved Athena.
Is that the kid on the bus?
It's actually the defendant in this case. I would like to think that he doesn't love her. That kid on the bus may also not particularly care for her.
The one she smacked in the head with a water bottle.
Mommy did teach her that no means no.
Right. So, independent?
She gets that from me.
Okay. And strong?
Physically, she gets that from her father.
Now, you told me about an event. It's actually a tragic event. Your mother died 4 or 5 years ago. Is that right?
It's been, oh God, it's been almost 8 years. This year will make 8.
8 years ago. And tell me what happened with regard to that. And I don't want to ask you about your mom's death, but I think it involves Athena, and I'd like you to tell the jury about that.
Well, it was Friday, December 28th of 2018. I had went to work early that morning, as I did all the time. And my mom wasn't supposed to die. She was just fine, but she used to keep Athena for me whenever I went to work. And she just died. But Athena, being Athena, I don't know how she knew. I didn't train her. I didn't teach her what death was. She hadn't had death in her life. But she ran out to my Nana's house, which would be her great-grandmother. And it's about an acre away. Each of these houses are on about an acre. And she went and got help. And the only reason we know that is because there's a Ring camera outside of the house. And she just kept telling my Nana, Grammy's dead. My Nana, being my Nana, didn't grab her phone before she left the house and couldn't get into my mom's phone because it had a code on it. So she sent Athena another acre away in the opposite direction to get more help. She was only 3.5.
So at 3.5 years old, she's toddling herself all over the place to try to help your mom.
Yes. Next to me, pretty positive my mom loved her more than anyone else in this world did.
Do you remember when you got the call and when you received the information that Athena had gone missing? Do you remember that time?
I do.
And where were you at that time when you got the information that she had just been missing?
I was in my house. My phone had died, and Jacob called my little sister, who was too far out from me. So she called my older sister, and my older sister came banging on the door like you would have thought the house was on fire. And I opened the door and she said, Athena's missing. And immediately I said, no, she's not. So I went and got my phone, and Jacob's name popped up on my phone.
So you knew something was not right.
Yes.
Now, how far is it from your house in Oklahoma to County Road 3573 that we've been talking about?
Typically it's about a 2-hour drive.
And how fast did you make that drive on that particular day?
I made it within 45 minutes.
Now let me ask you, did you go straight there? Or did you have a stop along the way?
Unfortunately, I let my car run pretty clear out of gas, and I said that I would get gas before work the next morning. So I had to stop and get gas in Comanche.
And so then you found your way this direction.
Yes, I did.
Some people will say that moms know when things happen. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
How do you know something wasn't right?
On my way down to Jacob's house, I stayed on the phone with him pretty well most of the way until I got to about Ryan, Oklahoma. And then it felt like I was dying. I couldn't breathe, but I knew I had to keep going. I almost tapped the brakes because I thought I was having a heart attack. But I just told myself that if I kept going, it would be okay and I would find her.
So long as Mama can get there, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You get there, Dana's still missing.
Yeah.
What do you do in that time period between when she's missing and when we, and then we find out what happened? What do you do during that time period?
When I got there, an officer asked me who I was. I told him I was Athena's mom. He directed me back inside my Jeep and told me that they were bringing dogs out and that my scent could throw the dogs off, so I had to stay inside my Jeep.
And then during those next 2 days, what are you doing during those next 2 days?
At 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, December 1st, an officer had told me that they had taken away the dogs and I could get out of the vehicle, and I asked him, can I search myself? He said yes. So Ashley's dad, Jacob's dad, my uncle, and Jacob and I went out and searched all of Jacob's property and the surrounding properties, even though all of those people were probably sound asleep in their own beds, and we didn't ask permission. And later that day, when more volunteers had come out and more officers arrived, I had talked to a few different investigators throughout the time. I walked lineups. I walked that county road over and over and over again. I searched Jacob's ponds, but she wasn't there. And I'm not from that county, so I didn't know where else to go. And I didn't know where else to look. I just knew she wasn't there.
I heard from Sheriff Aiken that he had a meeting with you and Jacob, actually, and some of your family members at a church in Cottondale. Do you remember that meeting?
Yes, I do.
And I know this may be tough, but I think it's important. When you're told that Athena's no longer with us, what's your first reaction?
I wanted to tell Sheriff Aiken that he didn't know what he was talking about. I asked him if I could confirm that that was my daughter, and he told me no, because she looks too bad. And I went into a place of denial. I stopped breathing and I started to black out as I heard Ashley screaming. I knew it. I knew it was him.
At some point, you gotta be a mom again, don't you?
Yes, sir.
At some point, you gotta plan a funeral, don't you?
Yes, sir.
At some point, you've got to see Athena for yourself. Is that right?
Yes.
Did that happen?
Yes. On Tuesday, December 6th of 2022, I was allowed to see Athena for the first time. I went in about an hour before I'd actually told Jacob to show up, because I didn't know what she would look like, and I didn't know how bad it would be, and I didn't want him to see our daughter like that. So I went in around 8 in the morning with just my dad. her ears were messed up. And she had incision lines. And her chin was scraped up. And so we put her in a hospital gown because I didn't have clothes for her. And she was naked. And I searched her body looking for any reason that that wasn't my baby. And then we did her makeup so Jacob wouldn't have to see the discoloration and how bad it was.
Still gotta be a mom, don't you?
Yes, always.
Always. I'm gonna make a guess that Athena didn't stay in that little gown very long, did she?
No, she did not. It wasn't pretty enough.
Tell me what mom does to go fix that.
Well, I wasn't from Wise County. I didn't know where to go or what to do, and I couldn't sleep. So I wandered around Walmart until I found a few dresses to pick from, and I wanted to make sure that she was just, when I got to her, she was so cold, and she didn't like the cold. So I wanted to make sure that she was dressed. So I picked out clothes. I picked out socks and panties and shoes and leggings and dresses. And I wanted to make sure she had one of her bows. So I got her some bows.
There's a pretty consistent theme with her with the bow, wasn't it?
There's actually a joke that me and my cousin do. We have a child. I did have a child around the same age. But back in 2014, 2015, it was very common to put bows on little girls that were bigger than their head. And Athena just kind of adapted that and never grew out of it.
That's why we got this picture here.
Yeah.
Now, do you have another daughter?
I do.
And what's the age difference between your other daughter and Athena?
4 years and 7 months.
Now, I've asked 4 of witnesses to describe for me their favorite picture of your younger daughter and Athena. Do you have one?
It was the first one I ever took of them together.
So that'd be right after your daughter was born.
Yes, sir.
And what's Athena doing in this picture?
She's holding Rye, and she is beaming. She'd been asking me for a sibling for a year or more, and she finally got her. I didn't want her to be alone if something ever happened to me. Because when Mom died and Athena was asking for a sibling, I looked around and I said, hey, at least I've got my sisters.
Let me ask you about your daughter. How old was your second daughter? Athena was your first.
Yes, she was.
She also Jacob's first too.
Yes, she was.
And how old was your second daughter, Riley, when Athena was born? When Athena was born, I want to get this exact.
When Rye was born,
Yeah, when Riley was born, how old was Athena?
Athena was 4.5.
then when Athena was killed, how old was Ron?
We had Athena's funeral on December 9th of 2022. I got her ashes the next morning on December 10th of 2022. And that was also Ryland's 3rd birthday. And I brought her sister home. It just wasn't the way I was supposed to.
How'd you go about talking to little sister about what happened to her big sister?
I didn't know how to tell her, and I didn't think I was strong enough to tell her. So I lied to her for a long time. I would tell her that she was just staying with her daddy for a little bit longer. And when she asked to FaceTime her or to call her, I would tell her that she was at school, or she was sleeping, or she was I'm sorry. I would lie to her. Until about a year ago, she didn't know the whole truth. And, but I didn't tell her that Athena was dead and that she had been killed until Athena's, or what should have been Athena's 8th birthday.
So let me ask you about that. Today, how old would Athena be today?
She would be 10.
And if I remember correctly, she has a birthday upcoming, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
When would she turn 11?
May 23rd.
2026.
Yes, sir.
She'll be a 4th grader. Is that right?
She would be a 4th grader. She'd be getting ready to go into her 5th grade year.
During the course of this case, have you ever missed a hearing?
1.
And why do you make it a point to be at every hearing that we've had in this case?
Because I had to cover up handprint bruises around my daughter's neck. And because she no longer has a voice. And I want people to know that she's not just some story. She's not just some number. She's not just some picture you see in a headline. She was loved. She is loved. And she is missed, and she was real, and she had a life, and she wanted to live. And no one can take that from her. Not a single person can take that from her. And I will be her face, and I will be her voice, and I will make sure that every person in this world knows that she was loved and that she wanted to live. And we want her in our lives.
You've been getting evidence, information about this case since the beginning.
Yes.
And you've been sitting here and you've heard most all the evidence in this case.
Yes.
But in the very beginning, what kinds of things were you being given? What kind of information were you being given in the beginning?
I read Tanner Horner's arrest affidavit where he said he hit her with a truck and he panicked. So he attempted to break her neck and then it didn't work. So he strangled her.
Do you have a chance to look at the autopsy or anything else in this case?
When it came out, I read it. I drove down here the moment that my attorney contacted me and said it was being released. Got pulled over in Bowie for that one because I wanted to read it before the media released it to the public.
Now, if I remember correctly, you've got a little bit of medical training and knowledge, don't you?
Yes, sir.
What stood out to you when you read that information?
That there were no items of personal belongings listed with her, and that the only thing that was with her was the hands, or the bags around her hands. And I knew that that meant that she didn't have anything on her when she was found.
And how far along into this process was that?
That was in the summer of 2023.
And I'm just going to ask you, how did you react to getting that information in the summer of 2023?
I didn't want to believe it. I told myself that I was wrong. I told myself that y'all just do stuff different down here in Texas. And because I'd rather be wrong about that than be right.
Ranger Espinoza has, we talked a little bit about some videos in this case. Excuse me. Did you have any chance to view or look at any portion of any videos in this case?
I did.
How much of it were you able to look at?
Maybe a minute, maybe two. I can't. And I'm very sorry to all of the innocent people that do have to watch that. I am so sorry. I'm sorry to you, and I'm sorry to y'all too. Because none of us, not Athena, not me, not anyone in this room besides Tanner Horner, asked for what's on that video. And Athena definitely didn't. I really am sorry.
We've been here a little over a week and a half. We've been here, seen some of the evidence in the case. What is it that sticks out to you? What do you want to know?
I know it sounds stupid, and I know it sounds selfish. I know he will never tell the truth. But I want to know where my daughter's shirt is. I want to know everything, but he won't tell me that. And I highly doubt that he cared enough to pay attention to when my daughter took her last breath. Because I brought her into this world, James. And I know when she took her first, I was there for that. I was there when she took her first steps and said her first word. But I wasn't there when she took her last. So I want to know where her shirt is. Because maybe he could give me that much grace.
Got a couple more questions for you, Maitlyn. Athena stood in your life, didn't she?
Athena is in my life every day.
Every day.
Every day.
And I think I would be missing something if I didn't point out that you tend to have an affinity for a certain color. Would that be right?
For her, yes, sir.
And is that Athena's color too?
This is her favorite color, yes.
Not Mom's favorite color.
No, sir.
You keep her both? You got your pink?
Yes, sir.
But do you talk to Athena sometimes?
I talk to her every day.
What do you say to her when you talk to her?
I tell her that I'm sorry. That I wasn't there to protect her and to stop him. I tell her that I love her. And I talk to her about Rye and what she's doing in life and how much she loves and misses her. And I tell her about you and about Pat and about Michelle and about my attorneys and how y'all are working really hard to make sure that she's not forgotten and that she didn't just die and that we'll get justice for her.
We hear people say that if they just had a few more minutes to talk to somebody that they no longer have. You heard that before?
I've thought about it a lot.
I'm gonna ask you. If you had those few minutes to talk with Athena right now, today, sitting in this room, what would you tell her?
I'd tell her I'm sorry. And I would tell her how much she means to me and her daddy and to her sisters. And how much she is loved. And how much we want her. And just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I am that I didn't protect her.
I know how hard it was being here, Maitlyn. And I want to thank you for being here and opening up your world to us today. That's what it's for.
Cross-examination.
Ms. Gandy, and Very sorry for your loss. I'm not going to ask any questions today. Thank you very much.
May this witness be excused. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, we're done for the day. We'll start back up at 9 o'clock. Okay, see you tomorrow.